What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Mad Hatter Radio, reporting live from modern-day Babylonia. This go around, I want to talk about what everyone's kind of talking about right now. That's the Brett Kavanaugh, Christine Ford situation. There are allegations against one of the Supreme Court nominees that they tried to really force through in Congress. Recently, there have been women who've accused him of assault at a party back in Montgomery County, Maryland at Georgetown Prep High School. I believe in Bethesda, Maryland, Montgomery County. So basically, this woman, Christine Ford, Dr. Ford, she has accused Brett Kavanaugh of groping her and attempting to rape her, sexually assaulting her at a party back in the 80s when they were in high school. Now, the thing that's crazy to me about this story is that I'm not surprised with what goes down in parties and kind of how America is very sexually, I guess, held back, for lack of a better term. We don't really discuss these topics, so I can definitely see how these things could happen. I'm not saying boys will be boys, but I can see how these things can be muddled, and how these things could happen, unfortunately. But my thing is, overall, is that can we stop looking at black men and men of color and stop with the stereotype that we're the aggressive ones? I can't tell you how many times I've talked to women and they tell me that they don't mess with black guys or brown guys, men of color, particularly brown and black men in particular, to be more specific, and they don't mess around with us because they say that we're too aggressive and we're not nice guys, we only want sex. If that's not the biggest load of bull crap, okay, every guy wants sex, they just go about it differently, right? But look at all these accusers, and I'm sorry, but the last time I checked, most of these accusers are white guys. Now, you could obviously make the argument that these guys are white. They tend to hold more positions of power, and because of that, more of them are going to be taken down. But to kind of even go against that, I always look back at whenever there's like a rape conviction or a rape accusation or a sexual assault accusation, that men of color are the ones who tend to see the justice of the law swifter and more harsh than other people, especially white men. And this does include white women. Look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was one of the few men that I've known in recent history to go to jail and serve some time for raping a woman. Bill Cosby was just recently sentenced for what he did. But there are still people like Charlie Rose who are out there. Matt Lauer, Harvey Weinstein, Charlie Sheen, who was also spreading HIV and AIDS. Obviously Brett Kavanaugh, who's running for Supreme Court Justice, a lifelong position. Al Franken, Louis C.K., and Kevin Spacey. Kind of on a side note too, I do want to admit that what's funny is that what was kind of sad is that I don't think that any of this is going to really affect someone like Brett Kavanaugh. He's still going to be able to get a job. I don't even think it's going to really tarnish his reputation that much. I think the only thing that's really going to piss him off is because this is something that he really wanted, and I really would have put him in the legend status of Americans, and he can't get that. And I feel that is going to make him more pissed off than the actual act that he, allegedly had a sexual encounter. He allegedly sexually assaulted this woman. But yeah, we have to definitely get past the stereotype that black men and brown men, especially black men, are evil when it comes to sex. Because honestly, growing up, and I know a lot of men of color, this is never like the things that some of these white guys and white women have been able to get away with recently, like Asia Argento and this woman, this Bronx teacher who's was sexually involved with someone who was underage, and she gets to keep her accreditation. She basically gets to keep teaching and doesn't go to jail. There's another white woman recently who basically, because she was embarrassed that she had sex with two black guys, and she didn't want her boyfriend to find out, so she said that they raped her. This goes on time and time again. This has been going on since time immemorial, where, hey, there's a situation going on, just blaming it on the black man. Did you have sex with somebody when you shouldn't have? Just say a black guy raped you. So this really brings me to the point where, look at how I mean, it just makes me really aware of how black men get the crap end of the stick, where we're seen as the most aggressive, and because of that we can't get into relationships with women. It's more difficult to have sex with women, and on top of that we also get the crap end of the stick because when a white guy does something wrong that a white woman is embarrassed about, most of the time they blame it on black men. So yeah, man, this really just is really frustrating to me how all these white guys, man, and it's not just any white guy. These are white powerful men, let's be honest, and these are white powerful women. Like in the educational system, they don't get to see justice. If you're a regular white guy, you know, you're gonna get screwed over. If you're a regular black guy or a man of color, you're obviously gonna get screwed over too. But even if you are a man of color in a position of power, you're still gonna get screwed over. So money doesn't really matter, is what this is really showing me. Money and power doesn't really matter because you're still black in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of the public. So this is for some of my brothers out there. I want you guys to know that, you know, we still got a long way to go in this battle for equality. And I do want to say that, you know, if Christine Ford was assaulted, you know, this doesn't mean that she deserves that. This doesn't mean that all the white women who were assaulted by white men, that they deserve that. But it just goes to show that sometimes this is our chickens coming home to roost. And all these years of white men and white women kind of being culpable in this situation together is finally coming home to roost for everybody to see. So I want to leave that there. Sorry this ran kind of long. Thank you guys, as always, for checking me out. This was more of a rant on what's going on in society right now. But if you've hung in there this long, you are a trooper. Go ahead and hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button as well. And hit the notifications bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks again, guys. And as always, stay woke.